So, you know, fall is always that great time of year to look for slugs, and I'm here with Norm from Lily Miller, and we're going to be talking about where you find them and some options for really controlling them this time of year.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, this is a wonderful time of year to try to prevent the slugs from next spring. And the reason we do that is because they can harvest over until next spring because we have such cool winters. They don't get a lot of cold. They're very mild along with the cool temperatures, and so they can be found. They can be found under rocks. They can be found under pieces of rotten wood, and that's where they hide. And they're also nocturnal, so the consumer does not see them, you know, actually during the daytime. They come out late at night. And we have a couple of little slugfest boys over here that hang around with us periodically to go out and look at things. And you can see they found this old metal container, and right under here there's a huge number of slug eggs. Now we need to get rid of those, and we will later on. But this is just one place you can find them. This is just an old metal container that's out here in the garden area where you'll find them.
Pretty much any place that's protected, moist, dark, that's where they're going to be.
And some warm temperatures. See, that keeps them away from the cold temperatures. And so a couple of things you can do, and the way you can apply it is we produce several different products here. They're all meta-based products, and they come in different forms. They can be used in a meal, like the Cory slug and snail death is a meal. There's a liquid that you can use.
Define what you mean by a meal, though.
Meal looks like oatmeal.
Okay, it's not a little plate you give them that has fruit and
No,
vegetables on
don't
it.
do that. We do down here a little bit further on down the line here. It's a meal, kind of like an oatmeal. Most of what is used in the Pacific Northwest is a meal. The Cory's is a meal. The Lily Miller is a meal. They all contain the product called meta or metaldehyde. And then you can also get it in the liquids. You have a ready-to-use Lily Miller and the Cory's, which is a Deadline product, which is people are very familiar with. And they're also pellets. They do manufacture a pellet, which is easy if you have a lot of overgrown area where you can literally throw the pellet in and it will get down into the ground itself.
Well, now, Norm, we were talking before the show here, and tell us a little bit about Meta and what it does in these products. That's the one that concerns people, but there really isn't that much reason to have a concern at all.
They're not. You need to really follow the directions on any Meta product.
Because the label is the law.
The label is the law, and it has warning about pets, particularly dogs and cats. So when you apply the product, you don't want to over apply it. You want to sprinkle it like you're putting, you know, salt into soup. And if you're using pellets, you want to cast them out.
I don't know. My mom liked a lot of salt. So
well, you know, my wife likes a lot of the Deadline actually, and she literally stands there and just lets it go. And you really don't want to do that because it will attract the pets around the house. And it will break down with the soil. The Meta will break down, and it'll just break right down into the soil. But just use it very sparingly, as the directions say. You know, you don't need to use 2 ounces if it requires 1. So use it sparingly.
And to those people that want to do a more completely organic approach.
Yes, they can do that too with a worry-free product. This is an iron phosphorus product. This can be used around pets and animals and children with no harm whatsoever. It's an iron phosphate product as well, but it's very safe to use around the garden or in the flower garden as well. It lasts up to about 2 weeks, the same as the Meta products, and doesn't have to be reapplied, just like the Meta, about every 10 to 14 days.
And of course, I would be remiss if I didn't mention the beer, because I don't think you're giving that to me.
Well, I really want to, the beer is a very nice touch, but the beer has a tendency to go flat.
It really has to be checked off.
Yeah, it needs to be checked often, but a lot of people use it. I don't know why you would want to waste it, but there are little containers that you can put the beer in, and it draws them in there, and it does work. And it's an organic product as well. And then if it doesn't work, then you can just use the beer for other reasons.
And I'm sure that I will take that option. If you have any other questions, we would love for you to go to GardenTime.tv. We'll click you over to their website. Lots of good information as always. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thanks for coming.